Hello, this is part 2 of what if deku was abandoned. If I sound a little bit sleepy, that's because I am. It's 2 in the morning for me, and I just woke up a couple of hours ago, actually. So, Deku in his castle with Sierra and Helsing. That's the woman name, Helsing. I believe it's her last name. So, Deku goes to school. Oh yeah, Deku ain't gonna be in the internship. So, the internship, if the internship go like it do in Canyon, but I'm gonna say either get saved by Todoroki because he was in the area. But either get a little bit worse than he do in Canyon and Manuel dies. So, that happened. And once that's over, everyone comes back to school for the final exam. Deku is also there. Now, some people try to patch up with Deku for not believing him to be innocent, but Deku don't listen. Now, after everything like that is done, they get ready for the final exams. So, it's Deku and Bakugo versus All Might, like in Canyon. Now, All Might suspects that Deku is working with All For One because Deku has a quirk. Now, Bakugo is talking to Deku. Yeah, and Deku also already knows that Bakugo didn't suspect him being a villain because Bakugo knows that Deku has notes on everyone in the classroom. And Kirishima believes that he's not a villain. And who else? I forgot who I said from last time. So, next, I'm going to check out who I said last time, and then I'm going to tell you. So, the people I said that didn't believe he was a villain don't believe that he was a villain. But everybody else, they saddened after, they didn't believe him. So, everything happened, they fight All Might, but they have a little bit easier time, seeing that Deku was stronger. This one, he's faster. Reflexes, hiding, seeing, hiding, hearing. You can see in the dark, and all the things that basically Dracula can do, or alucard, whichever one you want to say. And he pulls out his 2 pistols, which he don't want to kill All Might, so he does use rubber bullets. Because he does want to put All Might in a lot of pain. And so, he shoots All Might in his weak spot, causing All Might, to wince in pain a lot. That will keep shooting his weak spot. Surely enough, All Might is wearing a red shirt, so you can't see the blood. Like Deadpool said, red. But personally, for me, I love black. It's the only color you can stealth real good with. So they win and they leave. Deku just leaves after the final exam. So Deku just goes back to his castle and just sits on his throne. And then they get, telling him that about what is called the forest training camp. Oh yeah, and Inko, tries to contact Deku to tell him that she's sorry, but Deku don't listen. He doesn't even contact Inko. Once you disown someone, that's just it. You disowned them. Which I'm going to do another what if soon. Now I can give you the name of it, but I can't tell you any of the components that's going to tie into the story. So basically, Deku is going to be, well, you can say reincarnated several times until, he becomes Deku. So stay in tune for that one. So let's get back to the story. So on the way to the training camp, Deku doesn't ride the bus like everyone else does. But in fact, Deku appears after the bus stops, and Deku gets out of a Lamborghini. He was not driving this Lamborghini since he's a little too young. He still didn't get his driver's license yet. And, I think that, Deku has to get his license before he can drive, which he is at the age where he can get it. I'm just going to say that. He's 14, which I believe. Well, down here you have to be at least 16 or 15, I think. I don't really know which one. And, Deku gets out the car. Miss Helsing was the one who was driving. That's the woman. She the one that's named the series after her, Helsing. So she leaves. Everyone is shocked about Deku riding in a Lamborghini and getting out. And that pretty lady that's all. Well, it don't matter to me. So everything happens. They go down a mountain, and they take a little bit less time. Well, they take the same time that they do in canon. But Deku, he just, he just flies down the mountain and just, sits waiting for everyone to come. He basically makes him a comfortable chair after snapping his fingers and it disappearing. Now, Koda walks up to Deku and asks him, "How did you get here so fast?" Deku says, "I flew here, kid." Koda says, "I can't stand heroes. They always have flashy powers. They can never do no good job. You want me to help out your friends." Deku saying, "Those aren't my friends. They abandoned me. Because of them I died once. But at last I will not die again. You see, immortality is quite useful. And your name is Koda, right?" "Ah, yes, I can smell it from you. You are a vampire." "He's not a vampire, he's a vampire." Which I believe a vampire is a mix between a human and a vampire. Now, Koda doesn't know that he's a vampire. I'm going to say that his dad was a vampire and his mother was a, human. They died like they do in canon. Except of his dad. His dad died from a vampire, from basically going out in the morning, getting burnt by the sun. So that happens, and vampires, they're basically like better than vampires. They can go out in the sun, eat human food, and other things like that. So Deku can also do what a vampire does: go out in the sun and eat human food. Now, Koda asks, "What's a vampire?" It's basically, kid. It's basically a mix between a vampire and a human. So you're basically not fully human. Why don't you come to my castle? I have plenty of people like you. Which I'm going to say that he does have vampires in his castle. So Koda accepts this. Deku tells him, "Well, not right now at least. I'll take you later. After this training camp is over, I'll take you. And you do smell familiar from, like, a certain family of vampires. So I think you might be related to them. And your human mother, and I can smell that. You smell similar to that pussycat member. So she must be your aunt, I presume, because she's not your mother. You would smell more accumulated to her." Koda says, "Yes, she's my auntie." Deku says, I see. Okay." Deku stops talking to Koda, and Koda walks away. And everybody else, after 2 hours, get to the camp. Well, before they get to the camp, Koda talks to Mandalay, telling her about what Deku told him. That basically he is a vampire and he can take me to see my father's side of my family, and that I can live in his castle. She's surprised by this, but she wants proof, evidence. So basically what Deku does is he shows her a picture of his castle. He even shows her a picture of Koda's family. Wait, that's not possible. They're vampires. You can't take a picture. So he shows a drawing of Koda's family. And I'm gonna say Koda's father had a twin brother, so they basically sees another one of Koda's father. They say, wait, that's Koda's father. No. Deku says, that is possibly his uncle. You see, he told me one time that he had a twin brother, but he died. So, please do not worry about that. I'm pretty sure he will be quite safe with his family. Deku says, and everybody gets to camp after 2 hours. They just chilling. They mad at Deku that he just left them. Deku says, well, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, abandonment for abandonment. You all will get used to it pretty soon. So, things happen like they do in Candy. The villain attack comes, but Koda doesn't go out. Oh yeah, Koda is semi-immortal. But that means he won't die from old age. So he can live for a long time. And he ages, but you can tell that it's very slowly. Vampires don't age at all. So, well, they're not supposed to age at all, but it still happens. So, my throat feeling a little bit dry. Deku, after the villain started attacking, Deku kills Muscular. with a bullet straight through the head, blowing his whole head off. Spinner comes along, Deku shoots at Spinner, but Spinner blocks him with his sword, and his sword get destroyed. So Spinner gets out, and the rest of the villains escape. With Muscular dead, and I'm gonna say Magnum dead. Muscular and Magnum are dead. Now, everyone is shocked that Deku basically just killed two villains. And Deku snaps his finger, and a throne appears. A throne made out of gold, pure solid gold. Then he snaps his finger again, and basically a stool-like thing comes up, or a cushion thing. It's on a throne, and it's another thing before he can put his feet up. So he does. He sits back, and speaks. Villains are so aggravating, are so vexing. I don't know if I'm using that word right. Well, he just basically says, villains, they make my blood boil every time I feel their sins, and I'm in the same presence. The air that we breathe together, it just, it makes me very angry. But nevertheless, they're still humans, so I must treat them that way, even though I totally annihilated these two. But it doesn't matter. They were scum of the earth anyway, so just nothing but, pig's roast. Deku says this and goes back to sitting down. Now everyone shows up. The heroes, the cops, the ambulance, and then they call. I forgot what it's called, but it's basically the people that check the corpse, and then they send it away to the morgue. So they come, they also check, do like I just said, they check the body and then they send it to the morgue to get cleaned off and then buried. So during that time, everything happened like that. Deku takes Koda to his castle to meet his family. Koda meets his family. They explain who they are. And Koda's uncle said, so you're Koda. My brother has talked a lot about you. So I finally get to meet my nephew. While he's smiling, he don't say it like I'm saying it, very elegantly, but he says it. My voice a little bit scratchy, so that's why my throat hurting and it's dry, and I haven't drunk anything in a while, so I'm gonna get some drink after this. So Koda meets with his family, they hang out and things like that. And once the hero's still planning to attack the villain space, but the attack gonna come in the next part. I'm sorry, I really have to do something about my throat hurting. Oh yeah, and remember, after this is over, I knew what was coming out was Deku was a reincarnation. Now, please stay in tune and please subscribe. If you can get me to at least, I want a goal for this year, at least 150 subscribers. The first person to comment on my the video gets me 150 subscribers can recommend me a what if. I already have one recommended what if, which I will do in due time. So, good night, everyone. Well, for me, it's night or morning, whichever one you want to say. And goodbye. Remember, gingerbreads will take over the world. It's just common knowledge that we're all evil. And it's human nature. You can't mess with that. Have a nice and pleasant stay on this earth until we all die a horrible death at the hands of either old age or, random things like cabbage, bananas, dogs, manslaughter, cars, drowning, random things that you can think of. Have a nice night.